going on, family? Theodore Helverveer, aka Big Teddy, back with you, and sincerely happy to be here as always. So, got a new setup, still getting a little used to it. I like it, but I'm going to try and keep it from affecting the sound quality too heavy. But I'm very excited about today's episode. And I'm excited about today's episode for two reasons. The first is that I always try and make sure when we do a new message, it builds on principles that we've already established in other messages. And the other reason is because you guys have finally started to send in, questions and asks and things like that about advice that you're looking for, things that you want help with. And I'm really happy to be able to respond to that. I'm really happy to know that I'm able to resonate with you guys. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So what we're talking about this week and what we're talking about today is doing shit for the right reasons. Okay? Doing shit for the right reasons. Your intentions matter. And it seems like a really simple concept, but it's not. And it's not for a lot of different reasons. Doing the right thing for the wrong reasons will still get you poor results. Doing the right things for the wrong reasons still takes away from your mission, from your message, from your energy. Something that we have talked about multiple times and that we're going to keep talking about because it really is important to everything we do. The energy that you put into a situation, not just the effort, but the effort and the energy that you put into a situation determine what you're going to get back from it. Okay, and this is true in every aspect of life. It is better to not do something than it is to do so begrudgingly. And I say that as a person that doesn't take anyone from anything begrudgingly. I don't care. So I make a real sincere point to let people know I don't want anything more than what is owed to me. Nothing less or over, some OVO shit. And that's real talk. Like, if this is mine, then I want it. But when it comes to favors, quote unquote favors, you know what I mean, and acts of kindness, if it's done begrudgingly, it's not a real favor. If it's done begrudgingly, it's not a real act of kindness. And a very important principle comes behind this when we talk about doing things for the right reason. So even when you're doing things for other people, and when I say other people, I don't just mean doing things for friends or doing things for family. I mean when you are trying to change yourself in your world, in the world, through your actions. When you're doing the right things and good things for other people, you also have to learn to remove them from the equation. Now that sounds really backwards. How do I do things and do the right thing and do good things for other people if I'm removing them from the equation? Well, let me explain to you how, and as well, I'm going to explain why, right? So I don't know who the origin quote came from, but one of the most famous people to quote it was Bill Cosby, which is a real funny topic right now because of Dave Chappelle. But moving on, Bill Cosby said, "I don't know the surefire method for success, but I can tell you the surefire method for failure. Trying to please everyone all the time." You have to set standards and goals and achievements and quality bars with yourself. And while it is okay to get input and constructive criticism from other people, you have to make sure it doesn't go past constructive criticism. You have to make sure it helps you progress. And if it's not doing that, then you have to step away from it. Okay? People are never fully going to be satisfied. There's always going to be a complaint somewhere, even when you're doing something for people from the kindness of your heart. Grateful people are grateful no matter what you do for them. Ungrateful people will never be satisfied with any amount of effort you give, no matter how high or extensive or heavy the work you do is, the effort you put in is. And the sad part about it and the rough aspect of life is that there are more ungrateful people in the world than there are grateful people. And this is not speculation, this is fact. Okay? So, the thing that you have to take from that is you have to learn to be something we talk about heavily, is very self-honest and very real with yourself about the effort that you put in, about the quality that you put in, and your ability to improve on that. And the reason that's so important is because when you're a giver, and these are the people that naturally want to do for others, you know, and put the most into doing for others and get hurt the most by how people receive, right? When you're a giver, you don't always know that you're giving too much because your natural state is putting all of your effort into everything you do, especially when you do it for others. When you're a giver, sometimes it's easier for you to do good things and do right things for others than it is to do them for yourself. And when the people that you do things for are takers and they do not properly appreciate the effort that you put in, it can be very disheartening and very discouraging. And this is another reason why the most important thing that you can do when you're learning to do for others is remove others from the equation. We're talking about intentions, right? If you are doing things for people because you want the gratification of a thank you, you're doing it for the wrong reason. If you are doing things for people because you want notoriety, because you want praise, because you want validation, you're doing it for the wrong reason. If you're doing things for people because of return or investment or what you can get from them or what they will owe you after you've done something for them, you're doing things for the wrong reason. Because the only people that care about what you've done for them or what you owe them are people, one, who you've toxicked into feeling that obligation, and that mostly comes from other givers, because takers don't give a fuck what they owe anyone. They feel entitled to it, and that's just the reality. Or two, people that you shouldn't need to put that kind of pressure on anyway. And that's sincere. The people that really matter and really value the things that you do for them don't need to be reminded of the things that you've done for them. And again, if you feel the need to, then you're in the wrong place. And if it's a person that has forced you into reminding because they say, you've never done this, or you've never done that, or you don't do this for me and I do that, then this is a marker. This is a flag. It's a red light for someone that doesn't need to be in your life, for someone that doesn't need to be in your energy. There's someone that doesn't need to be in your space. Because when you're dealing with good people, healthy people that actively contribute to your life and you do the same for them, thank you is the only word that needs to be spoken. All you need to show is appreciation, because the cycle never stops of you caring for each other, that back and forth, that doing for one another. Okay? If you are doing something nice for another person so that they can acknowledge what you've done for you, and you're in the wrong space. You can't be seeking approval. You can't be seeking notoriety. You can't be seeking validation. You have to make an agreement with yourself. You have to set and define standards for yourself and say, this is what I want to achieve. This is what I want to do. And this is who I want to help. And this is how I would like to do it. Okay? And the reason that you need to be open to the things that come your way, even in the form of criticism sometimes, is because there's always room for improvement. But you also need to be honest enough with yourself to know, all right, this person's trying to make me feel like shit because I didn't get to E, F, and G, but I did A, B, C, and D. It is okay to defend yourself. It is okay to stand up for yourself. And if you are doing something for someone out of kindness, you have a right to say, listen, I understand that you wanted this and I was only able to get you this, but since I did this for you and haven't asked anything back from you, you don't really have a right to complain. If someone else is going to do this for you, then you can let them do this for you from now on, and we don't have to bring this energy into my life. But I tried to do this for you because I care. Even in a professional situation, when you set obligations, that's one thing, and we have to honor those. But when you do something out of kindness, let's say you're an NPO, right? So I set a goal to feed 3 families a day. I feed 5 families a day. I do this out of my own pocket, and I only make an obligation to the 3 families I can get to. If I drop under par and don't hit my 5 families and only hit my 3, but the 2 families weren't expecting anything from me, then no one, including anyone outside of my organization, can say to me, hey, well, you're not doing good enough because you're not doing this. It comes back to that paying the cost to be the boss conversation. How much do you give to my organization? Nothing. How much have I asked you for to do what I do? Nothing. So whatever I get to, as long as I meet my quota, is with me. If I could have did more, then I would have. If I didn't, it's because I couldn't. This is not a failure on my part. And the reason that we highlight that and say that and put those into those words is because people will try and word the things that they did not get from you as failures on your part. But if no promises were made, you are not entitled to do anything but your best. And it's up to you to learn and figure out as you go, is your best enough? And if it's not, how do I make it better? You can't please everyone, okay? And some people you can't please at all. So you have to learn to get right with you. You have to learn to get right with your higher power. But you also have to be self-honest about that, because self-deception is something that is very sincerely a part of who we are as people, as human beings, okay? And the reason we're talking about all of these different circumstances and all of these different ways that this ties in together, your intentions and doing shit for the right reasons, is because we have to learn different scenarios so that we can differentiate between, well, I'm kind of a shitbag. I really don't do enough for people, and I'm giving my all and doing the most I can do, and no one fucking appreciates it. Because there's a difference between those two places. But if you're not self-honest, you can't have a real rational understanding of which place you're in. And this is why critical thinking is so important too, because it can cause a crisis of faith in yourself and who you are and the quality of person that you are when people don't appreciate the shit you do. So that's when you take the time to sit down and reflect and say, why am I doing what I'm doing? How much have I actually done opposed to what I've intended to do? Have I made promises to do more than I have achieved? Have I led others to believe that something was the case that was not? And once you start to answer these questions honestly, and you can be real about yourself, about what you do and done and have not done and are not doing, then you can accurately assess when there's room for improvement. But I'm telling you sincerely, you have to get right with you. You really do. Because the need for validation will ruin you. It will ruin you faster than anything. No matter what age you're at, seeking approval never has a benefit on your life. Because it's too easy to pull that away from you. It's too easy to be controlled and defined by that need. Especially if the person that you need it from doesn't have your best interests at heart. And this doesn't matter if it's a partner, a spouse, a parent, a sibling, a friend. Seeking approval will hurt you before it helps you. You have to know, I'm doing this not because of what someone is going to tell me or say to me or praise me, but because it's right for me. I think I told you guys the story about the lady. I do my best to go out of my way to be there for women that need help with strollers or old women that need walking, thing like that, because it is just central to my beliefs and what I think is right to do. And I told you one time, this lady, we were in New York and we were waiting for the train, and she was at the bottom of the stairs, and she had a stroller, and she had a newborn, and she had a toddler, and she had to get to the top of the stairs, and she was stressed because she really didn't know how she was going to do it. And big back linebacker looking ass that I am picked up the stroller and carried it up to the top of the stairs for her. And she was so grateful, and she said, "Thank you so much." And I laughed in her face, unintentionally being rude. But it was because she said to me, "Are you a Christian?" And I said, "No, I'm a Helvevier." And then I just went about my day because I didn't really need even the thank you. I was doing it because it was the right thing to do. Faith and all of that is dope, but it's really not a reason for me to decide to be a good person or be the person I'm supposed to be, And I want to tell you, something that you have to be aware of that happened to me. And this is a couple years back. Like I have steeled myself and made myself so hard to criticism that I can listen to it and accept it, but I understand when people are speaking to me about things that they don't understand. I understand when people are being cynical and being negative, even if they don't think they are. And so I put so much effort and so much quality into what I do that someone else trying to take the piss out of me or take a peg out of me doesn't really faze me. Oh, how much money do you make? Well, how much of this have you done? Is this and this and this working out? Or did you if I really fed into that shit, I wouldn't be doing this podcast every week. I wouldn't have finished my book. I wouldn't have done any of the other achievements that I'm so proud of in my life that have helped bring me to this place. But I had got so built up on really not being fazed that bullshit that people toss my way when they're being negative, that I didn't realize I could still be affected by praise. And I was like, this is so wild because somebody says some dope shit to me and it feels good. And the thing that I want to tell you is it's okay. It's okay to enjoy praise. It's okay to enjoy approval. It's okay to enjoy people acknowledging the hard work that you do and the effort that you put into shit. Enjoying is not the same as needing. And that's the difference that we got to establish in a note that we want to close on. One of the most dangerous words in the world is need. The only thing that you should need is to be better. The only thing that you should need is to want to do your best, to be your best, and to make sure that everything you are doing and everything you are giving is coming from the right place, is coming from a good place, is coming from a place of pure intention and quality. Never be doing shit to hold it over someone else's head. Never be doing shit for validation, okay? Get right with you. And no one can take anything that you achieve from you. We're going to keep doing this like we talk about every week. We'll be back here. Okay? I'm here for you guys. If you want to talk, if you're lost, if you got some questions you want to ask that you want me to address, hit me up. Let me know. I've told you guys how to contact me, but if you don't remember, HOH_LLC Twitter, HOH_LLC Instagram, okay? HOH Collective at gmail.com. Hit us up. We're here. I'm here. There are always going to be someone to respond to your messages because we're going to keep taking this journey together every week. We got this. Let's get it.